Synergetic Journal, January 17, 2026. Christina Herlofson, Synergetics Research Project. In this ongoing quest to comprehend what the best form of government can be, that typically is referred to as a democracy, we cannot accept less than the most accurately referenced economic accounting, which cosmic logically assumes omnivalidity, and may well be the cosmic accounting that our humanity has been searching for, that has not been warped by socialistic, deceptive ambitions that in time become what is bound to occur in the long run anyway. Identifying governmental authority by attaching unbalanced presets to the word democracy as a democratic socialism is currently exemplified in the New York mayoral victory, with variously appraised viewpoints in support of its attempts to balance the socioeconomic playing field. However, the transition from democratic socialism to communism, which would be a shift to a one-party state, a centralized authority, a transformation that may be similar to the internal political upheaval occurring now, changing uncertain minds in a number of USA states, Oregon and Minnesota, for instance. The upheaval seems mindlessly reactionary, as revolutionary activists call attention to the mixed perceptions of illegal problems, egregious enforcement tactics, and discovered underlying fraud by trusted government officials. The activation's hope to control dissimilarly initiated radical solutions with not yet cognized and recognized, accurately identified problems and potential omni-rational solutions. The shift in a democratic socialistic manifestation takes time, while directing policies gradually toward authoritarian control is subsequent to achieving ownership, expanding public services, and treating workplaces as a democratic process without actually implementing the most economic nomenclature, which in all cases would not omit the time, energy, cosmic accounting, and maximum efficiency respecting alternative technologies that otherwise can be employed by scenario universe, which has been omitted from the outset of forming any type of union, much less in regards to forming a democracy as a more perfect union. The term policies can seem officially essential without necessarily understanding what it means, as if a policy holds all the right reasons for doing what is yet to define all the wrong reasons involved in the controlling plan of action that can be adopted by a social group, rationalizing the course of its governing agendas. The governing agendas at its core are politics at play, which is a factor in the PRJWBCHM politics, religion, justice, war, belief complex, hierarchical matrix, an acronym I devised when this contextual parameter occurred to my clearer understanding of the reenacting perplexities that seem never to resolve omnirationally, suggesting to my synergetically developing aptitude that perhaps our Buckminster Fuller's omnirational control matrix could be the omnirationality our omnihumanity has been trying to find without knowing about. The most accurate terminology and conceptual models during the excruciating fear engendered social, political, economic expectations of conformity and compliance besetting us from early childhood. Our Buckminster Fuller's omnirational control matrix in Synergetics 901.09 describes the basic equilibrious, least common denominator triangles of the vector equilibrium that can be scribed within the basic disequilibrium triangles of the icosahedron. This great circle subdivisioning defines all the aberrations between equilibrious and disequilibrious states, thereby providing to our humanity's consciously evolving awareness and potential applications of the geometry of thinking and omnirational control matrix for our rudimentary topological accounting. In all these cases, importing and exporting energy to some degree is occurring, but those integral aspects, when ignored, not cognized to be recognized, within the variously assigned departments of the omnicomprehensive governing system, instead will produce inevitable aggravations, leading to arbitrary distractions and disorientation away from identifying confusing intentions that nonetheless involve trial and error steps that in truth only depend on explored survival stratagems from the outset for resetting subsequent stages and beneficial outcomes, importing and exporting, as well as internal and external, inside outing and outside inning, interference and synchronization, inexplicable and explicable, integration and differentiation, inhibit and distribute, inactivity and activity, invisibility and visibility, irrelevance and geodesics, ideal and real, are listed among the always and only coexisting complementarities that physics has found. Therefore, it becomes essential when forming a more perfect union's cosmic democracy to include geodesic models as essential conceptualities, primarily because the regenerating patterning integrity is of metaphysical physical universe to be included in one's individual economic initiatives, generalized conceptioning fields of thought, not having derived in any way, shape, or form from the PRJWBCHM factors. Fortunately, in this quest to comprehensively form a more perfect union again today, starting with the list of freedoms posted in yesterday's journal selecting cosmic freedom. which refers to loss, discovery through loss, another freedom. I learned of it after opening the Synergetics dictionary at Cosmic, finding many potentially developing insights that relate to the cosmic accounting that assumes omnivalidity and also cosmic democracy, Avogadro's hypothesis that discloses a grand central station correlating to a potentially newest understanding of fundamental unique differences of identity accommodated on a common volume to number basis. From this slight distraction, I was compelled to search online for what defines democratic socialism, having in mind Zohran Mamdani, the newly elected New York mayor, who has been identified as a communist, with plans to turn the economics of that city into something else that many people are in favor of, as others feel deepest contempt, associating Mamdani's intentions with some deeply rooted communism from his early childhood. Mamdani was born in Uganda, an authoritarian-ruled country, and raised in South Africa, which was once an authoritarian country from 1948 to 1994, before moving to the USA in 1998 from Kampala, Uganda, when Mamdani was 7 years old. One thing leads to another, as my research writing practice relies on the dictionary for words that pop into my head. Words I have not used in everyday communication or ever to the best of my recollection, but turn out to be relevant to the developing thought. Preset fits into the points I attempt to convey today, while conceptually forming newest insights and outlooks correlating to what apparently is happening as a highly valued controlling device in the human condition. It is as politics plays out. To include satisfying my curiosity about the term policies, which frankly I have never understood, nor bothered looking up the definition in the dictionary as I did today, finding policy listed in the Oxford University Press Dictionary and Thesaurus, but policy is not mentioned in R. Buckminster Fuller's Synergetics Dictionary, the mind of R. Buckminster Fuller. It lists these entries under politics in quotes. All politics are not only obsolete but lethal, end quote. Citation and context as war, December 13, 1973. In quotes, politics is always on the side of how you deal with fundamental inadequacy, end quote. Cite RBF addressed at Yale Political Union, New Haven, December 9, 73. In quotes, unless you have the technical solution, politics can't do anything, end quote. Citation and context at office buildings, conversion to apartments, June 28, 1972. Listed in the Synergetics Dictionary under politicians, in quotes, politicians are merchants of woe, W-O-E. They get elected because of what's bothering people now, end quote. Cite RBF to EJA at Kennedy Center in Washington after National Town Meeting on the Air, September 10, 1975. Obviously, Since and before the 1970s, Bucky Fuller, by invitation, presented his Synergetics discoveries to meaningful attendants, who apparently did not officially act on the conceptualities. Nevertheless, universe's regenerating pattern integrities are close at hand for our 21st century observations and articulations, with more than enough examples of the reenacting articulations that time and again come around, so that the research writer can explore as a developing thesis for clarification pertaining to democracy's long-awaited, omnicomprehensive, omniconsiderate, omnirational solutions. Until next time, gratefully, faithfully, eternally, Christina Herlofson.